I've had a few days at this spot, and very good it's been too. Nice and quiet, peaceful. I'm quite low on water and quite high on bins, so I've decided to move today to sort both those things out. I'm not planning on going very far. There's a stop a little bit further down that should do me for another few days, and as the sun's poking its head out from the clouds, I think this is as good a time as any for a little bit of a cruise. And I'm away. Well, it's funny because when I walked down here a few days ago to check it all out, this entire stretch that I'm going along now, there were no boats here whatsoever, and there are rings, and that's quite unusual not to see any boats at all moored on a nice straight stretch with rings, but of course now it's mostly full up. It's funny how things just sort of ebb and flow like that. Marsworth is a popular spot, and as I near its centre, it's bound to get more crowded. Ah, there's the bins. Well, I managed to drop off the rubbish in the end in more ways than one. So onwards. Just about get back on. After a bit of faffing about, I eventually managed to get to the bins. Obviously, wasn't really anywhere to moor because it was on an angle, and I didn't want to block the bridge and one thing and another. But that's all good. That saved me a good old sort of hike back up with a load of flimsy bin liners that were probably going to break in transit. So it's one thing done. Next thing, I'll stop off at the water. But guess what? Turns out there are bins here as well. Who'd have thought it? Nothing for miles and miles, and then one at each bridge. But look out, there's someone already at the watering point. Ah, that's inconvenient. This is quite a weird stop for water and facilities actually, because they've put a load of new build houses here. So I'm literally right outside someone's front door, or almost on their sort of semi-private sort of balcony thing. It's pretty unusual, but the boat that was filling up, they finished, so I'm just going to shunt down. So it's worked out quite well actually. They're quite interesting construction, the houses behind me actually. They're obviously a bit of a sort of special kind of one-off designer kind of thing, because I've seen them at night, and they're largely made of sort of glass and you can see inside, and it looks very cosy in there. I think they're sort of steel construction, you know, steel frame, bit of wood and a bit of glass, very much your Grand Designs type of vibe. What I'll do is have a walk over to the other side and have a look at them from there.
There we are, 4 houses all in a row, on what I believe was a former CRT yard. There are more similar houses behind those too. Just a question of finding somewhere to moor now. Here we go.
Well, it's been a good few years since I last stopped here. In fact, I think it was actually this very spot. There's just like one visitor mooring spot on the end of the long-term moorings on this side before the lock. So I've tied up here, and as usual, this will do for today.